Okay, good morning, class. I was actually waiting for other people to join, but I think there will be less students only. So we'll start. Okay. So everyone, please switch on your videos before we start. Yes, everyone, please switch on your videos before we start. Yes, the rest, please switch on your videos. Yes, everyone, switch on your videos. Okay, so we will start. So yesterday someone told me to revise about acyanotic heart diseases or congenital heart diseases. Okay, so if I say congenital heart diseases, it means that they are present since birth. Okay, they are present since birth. Now if I use the word acyanotic, when there is a before any word, that means the absence. Okay, so acyanotic means there is no cyanosis. So you all know, right, what is cyanosis? I told this before. You all remember what is cyanosis? Yes, anyone tell me what is cyanosis? Yes, anyone can say what is cyanosis? Okay, cyanosis means the bluish discoloration of the skin. Okay, so when cyanosis means bluish discoloration of the skin, so acyanosis will mean that there is no such discoloration. Okay, that is why the group 2 congenital heart diseases, which we say as the cyanotic heart disease, there is this bluish discoloration. For that reason, those babies are known as your blue babies. Okay, and in group 1, which we will be discussing now, that is the acyanotic heart diseases, so there is no bluish discoloration of the skin. So these are known as your acyanotic heart diseases, or these babies are known as your pink babies. Okay, so we will talk about the various subdivisions of these congenital heart diseases. Okay, that is the group 1, which we call as the acyanotic heart disease. So now, under your acyanotic heart disease, we have three subdivisions or three categories. Okay, first one is your ventricular septal defect, second is your atrial septal defect, and third is your patent ductus arteriosus. Okay, so let's start. Now if I say about ventricular Septal defect. So what is the ventricular septum? Anyone remembers? It's okay even if you were wrong. Anyone remembers what is the ventricular septum? Yes, what is the ventricular septum? Yes, anyone tell me what is the ventricular septum? See, if you keep quiet, how will I know if you people are present in the class or not? Say that we don't know or just answer. Okay, you don't know. The rest? A heart defect. Okay. Actually, we have discussed about this before. Okay, so ventricular septum, it is the septum only which divides the heart into the right and the left side. So ventricular septum is the one that is present in between the ventricles. You can see my video, everyone. Is it clear? Okay, I think so it is clear. So if I say that this is the heart, okay, I think it is a bit blur. Okay, and this, okay, don't go for this diagram, this is just a rough one. So what is this? This is the left atrium. Okay, so do not think that since this is to my right, so what I'll draw this side will be the right atrium. No, whatever you draw to your right side, that will be the left side of the heart. Why? Because this is the mirror image that you are drawing. If you make it in the opposite direction, again the left will come to the left side. Since this is opposite to you, so whatever is present in your right side, you will draw it as left one. Okay, so this is the left atrium, this is the left ventricle, this is the right atrium, and this is the right ventricle. Okay, so, and I'll draw, these things are rough. Okay, this is the superior vena cava, this is the inferior vena cava. Don't think that these are present only here. I have drawn only the regions where they get connected to the heart. Okay, not the whole part. And then the aorta is anyway present around the heart in this way, in a curvature. I'll show you the real diagram, but the outlet from which it goes out is the left ventricle. So I'm just drawing it here. Okay, here is your pulmonary artery, and here is your pulmonary vein. This portion, this one is known as your septum. Okay, septum means a division or a border that divides the heart into the left side and the right side. Okay, so this portion which divides the left atrium and the right atrium, this portion is known as your intra-auricular septum, and this portion which divides the heart into the left ventricle and the right ventricle, means the border which is present between these two chambers of the heart, that is the lower chambers of the heart, this is known as your intraventricular septum, or you call it as the ventricular septum. Okay, so now in case of your congenital heart diseases, that is the first group that you asked me to discuss is about your acyanotic heart disease. So as you all know, this side of the heart, it contains the oxygenated blood. Okay, that is the left side of the heart, it contains the pure blood, which is usually your red in color is considered because this is the oxygen rich blood. Okay, and this side of the heart, it contains your deoxygenated blood, or this is the blood which is the impure blood. Okay, or the carbon dioxide rich blood. Now in case of your congenital heart diseases, if we talk about group 1, the first is your ventricular septal defect. This is the ventricular septum. Okay, so in case of your ventricular septal defect, there will be a hole here. Okay, since there will be a hole here, the blood from this side, that is the left side, will come to the right side. Okay, this blood will come to the right side and it will come and mix up here. But the blood supplied to our whole body is provided by the aorta, right? Superior inferior vena cava brings the impure blood, they go into the right ventricle, through the pulmonary artery they go to the lung. In the lung they get purified and come back into your left atrium through the pulmonary vein, and then this pure blood, it goes into the left ventricle, right? Then this pure blood is distributed into your body through this aorta. Okay, so now when this pure blood goes and mixed up with this impure blood, so it is not such dangerous. Okay, because your body is getting the pure blood through the aorta. The blood doesn't come from this side to this side. Okay, it is known as your left to right shunt. Shunt means any abnormal opening that is present. So this is the left to right shunt, means the blood, it goes from the left side to the right side. So the pure blood from the left, it comes and it gets mixed up with the right side of the heart. Okay, and anyway this blood through the pulmonary artery will go to the lung. Okay, and then after purification will come back again into through the pulmonary vein into your left atrium. And when this pure blood is getting mixed up with the impure blood, so do you think there will be like severe problems? No, right? So there won't be any severe problems, but the problem will arise in case of your cyanotic heart diseases, when this impure blood goes and mixed up with the pure blood, and then through the aorta they go into your whole body. Okay, so in case of your ventricular septal defect, it is dangerous but not as dangerous as your cyanotic heart diseases. So in case of your ventricular septal defect, there will be a hole here and the pure blood from left ventricle will come to your right ventricle. Next is your atrial septal defect. Okay, so in case of your atrial septal defect, a hole will be present here in your interatrial septum. Okay, and then the blood, pure blood from the left atrium will come to your right atrium and it will get mixed up here. Okay, same thing here. In case of your ventricular septal defect, the hole was present in your ventricular septum, that is in the border that was separating the ventricles, and in case of your atrial septal defect, the hole is present in between the two atrium, that is the boundary that is separating the two atrium, and in both the cases the blood will come from the left side to the right side, that is the pure or the oxygenated blood gets mixed up with the impure blood. Okay, and then the third one is your patent ductus arteriosus. Okay, so what is patent ductus arteriosus? Tell me what is patent ductus arteriosus. Means ductus arteriosus. After that, we'll talk about patent ductus arteriosus. Do you all remember what is ductus arteriosus? If not, then I'll explain it again. Okay. Okay, so this is a simplified diagram, okay, because if I draw the complicated one, it will be difficult for you to understand. Okay, anyway, the ductus arteriosus what I'll draw is not present here, but this is just to show you. Okay, I'll show you the proper diagram. See, this is the aorta, this is the pulmonary artery. Okay, so in a child, not in a child, in case of a fetus which is present inside the mother's womb, okay, so in the fetus there is always a connection between, the connection is not like this, okay, it's just to show you all. So between the aorta and the pulmonary artery there is a connection present, okay, which carries the blood from your aorta to your pulmonary artery. So this connection itself is known as your ductus arteriosus. This is also a artery only. Okay, this is also an artery only, which connects your aorta and the pulmonary artery, and it carries blood from your aorta to the pulmonary artery. Okay, and it is normal in case of your child who are present inside the mother's womb. This is a normal connection. Okay, but after birth, after like 1 to 6 days after birth, this stops working. Okay, this should stop working. That it should stop carrying blood from the aorta to the pulmonary artery after like 1 to 6 days after birth, and this should completely disappear. Okay, this should completely disappear, or it should vanish after like 2 to 3 weeks after birth. So that you call as the anatomical closure. Okay, when the functioning has stopped, that is it has stopped carrying the blood from aorta to the pulmonary artery, you call it the physiological closure. Okay, and when this connection has vanished completely, then you call it as the anatomical closure. So it should occur by 2 to 3 weeks after birth. But in some babies what happen is that this ductus arteriosus, it remains even after 2 to 3 weeks of birth. Okay, and then whenever the heart contracts, with every contraction and relaxation of the heart, the blood, it comes from the aorta to the pulmonary artery through this ductus arteriosus, because it is present and also it is functioning. So it is known as the patent ductus arteriosus. So in this case also it is left to right shunt, that is the blood, that is the pure blood from the aorta is coming to your pulmonary artery. So that will also be a left to right shunt. Therefore your acyanotic heart diseases are known as left to right shunt. Why? Because the blood from the left side is going to the right side. In case of your atrial septal defect, the blood was coming through the intraatrial septum. In your ventricular septal defect, the blood was coming through your intraventricular septum. And in case of your patent ductus arteriosus, the blood is coming from the aorta to the pulmonary artery, everywhere from left side to the right side. That is, the pure and the oxygenated blood is getting mixed up with the impure and the deoxygenated blood. Clear? I'll show you the, see, if I would have gone for this complicated diagram before, you could not have understand. Okay, so see, here you can see this was the septum, and in between the septum is absent, that means there is a hole in between there, and then you can see the arrow from where the blood from the left atrium is coming to your right atrium. That is the left to right shunt. Okay, so this is your atrial septal defect. When the septum which or the boundary which was separating your left atrium and the right atrium, in between it there is a hole, and through that hole you can see that there is an arrow through which the blood, that is the oxygenated blood from the left side, is coming and mixing up with the right side. Okay, so this is your atrial septal defect. This one you can see here, that is okay. Okay, the border in between the atrium, that is okay, but the border here, that is in between the ventricle, as you can see it is marked as VSD, that is the ventricular septal defect. So the white color that you are seeing in between, no, this one and this one, there is the white color one. So in between that there is this hole, right? And through this hole the blood from the left ventricle is coming to the right ventricle. That is the pure oxygenated blood, which you can see in red color here, is coming and mixing up with the impure blood which is present on the right side. Okay, that is with the impure blood on the right side. So this is your ventricular septal defect. Okay, have a look. Then comes this. Okay, so this is where the patent ductus is present. What I have drawn was a rough diagram to make you understand. So if you can see this red color one, okay, with these branches, this is the aorta. This blue color one is the pulmonary artery. Aorta is in red color because it carries the oxygenated or the pure blood, and then this pulmonary artery is in blue color because it carries the deoxygenated or the impure blood. And there in between these two you can see that there is a portion where this blue and red color is getting mixed up. That is your patent ductus. Okay, this is your ductus arteriosus, which is present at birth, okay, or in the child who are present at mother's womb. In those it is present, and in the fetus it is present. Apart from it, like after 1 to 6 days it should stop functioning after birth, and after like 2 to 3 weeks after birth it should disappear or it should vanish. But if this is present even after like 2 to 3 weeks after your birth, then this is known as your patent ductus arteriosus. So with every contraction and relaxation of the heart, the blood from your aorta through this patent ductus, it will go into your pulmonary artery. That is, again the oxygenated blood will come up and mixed with your pulmonary artery. Okay, so this is also a left to right shunt. That is, the blood goes from the left side to the right side. Okay. And these cases are actually very rare. You will see like 8 cases per 1,000 babies. Okay, and what are the causes? Causes might be any kind of infection during your pregnancy, and which such as infection with rubella virus. Then you get this envirotoxins, means the toxins in the environment. Then genetics, okay, these are also hereditary, so genetics might also have an effect on it. And any intrauterine injury during pregnancy. So if the mother gets any kind of injury to her uterus, even in those cases also the baby might have, you can see the effects on the baby as this conditions. Okay, not only this but also the cyanotic diseases and also the obstructive heart diseases. Okay, so we have divided it into 3 classes. The first one is this that I have discussed today, that you wanted me to repeat, is the acyanotic. Second is your cyanotic. Third is your obstructive. And cyanosis means the bluish discoloration of the skin. Okay, especially it occurs around the skin of your nails and lips. Okay, so now if we talk about the group 1, group 1 means it is left to right shunt. So now you know how it is left to right shunt. That is, the blood from the left side, it goes to the right side. Okay, and what is a shunt? Shunt means a small hole that allows movement of fluid. Here you consider blood as that fluid, and in this case the oxygenated blood, it goes and mixed with the deoxygenated blood. And then these babies are also known as pink babies. So why they are known as pink babies? Because the blood which is already like going through the aorta, that blood is already pure, and that blood only is getting distributed to the baby, so there is no bluish discoloration here. Okay, unlike the cyanotic heart diseases. So these babies are known as your pink babies. And then there were these three classifications: ventricular septal defect, atrial septal defect, and the patent ductus arteriosus. Then clinical features are almost same. The child gets easily fatigued, okay, even while you are breastfeeding the child, even in those cases also the child gets fatigued. Then sweating. After that is tachypnea. Tachypnea. What is tachypnea? You all remember what is tachypnea? Yes, anyone remembers what is tachypnea? I have discussed this, if you remember. If not, I'll repeat. These are some important terms that you need to know. So, what is tachypnea? Fast heart rate. Good. Then, what is sorry, not first heart rate, okay? First heart rate is your tachycardia. Okay, tachypnea is your fast breathing rate. Okay, but it's okay, you're correct that it's fast, but the wrong thing was not heart rate, it is the breathing rate. Okay, fast heart rate is your tachycardia. Now what is bradycardia and bradypnea? Yes, anyone remembers bradycardia and bradypnea? Okay, bradycardia and bradypnea means slow heart rate is bradycardia, okay, and slow breathing rate is bradypnea. Okay, whenever you see this terminology tachy, so tachy means more, so tachypnea means more or faster breathing rate, and tachycardia means more or faster heart rate. Bradycardia means the slow heart rate, and bradypnea means the slow respiratory rate. Clear? Brady means slow, tachy means more. Clear, everyone? Okay, so I'll ask a question. What is dyspnea? Dyspnea. Option A, fast breathing rate. Option B, slow breathing rate. Option C is your inability to breathe. Option D is difficulty in breathing. Fast breathing rate, slow breathing rate, inability to breathe, and then difficulty in breathing. What is dyspnea? Difficulty in breathing. Anyone else? Anyone else? Fast breathing. Okay. Anyone? Inability to breathe. Okay. After that, the rest. Okay, so the correct answer is it is difficulty in breathing. Okay, so you can note this down. Okay, if you are confused, you can write it down. Tachy, tachy, tachy means more. Okay, tachy means more or fast. Tachy, tachy means more or fast. So whenever you see these words as tachypnea and tachycardia, it means the faster breathing rate and the faster heart rate. Brady, brady, brady means slow. Brady means slow. So bradypnea and bradycardia. Bradypnea means slow breathing rate, and bradycardia means slow heart rate. Okay. Tachy means more, brady means less. Dyspnea means difficulty in breathing. Dyspnea. Dyspnea. Dyspnea or dyspnea. Okay, so this is said as difficulty in breathing or breathlessness. And there is another term which you say is apnea. Okay, apnea, apnea. Now at the starting of the class I told you, if you see a word a, what does it means? If you see a letter, if you see the letter a before any word, so what does this means? Away. No, that away was I told you for arteries and aorta. Absent, yes, correct. Absent. So that so apnea means absent. Okay. So when I say apnea, that means the absence of breathing or inability to breathe. Okay, that is apnea. Inability to breathe or the absence of breathing, that is apnea. So with a, that was away means that I told you to remember. Okay, like aorta, a for aorta, so a for away. So it means that whenever you see aorta or arteries, so remember that they will carry blood away from your heart. Okay, so that was just to make you all remember. Okay, that a for away, a for arteries or aorta, so they carry the blood away from your heart. And then veins, they carry the blood to your heart. So that was a formula to, or a mnemonic to remember. Okay, so because of that I said that a for away. But then a means absent. Okay, so when I say acyanosis, that means the absence of cyanosis or the absence of bluish discoloration. Okay, so that we discussed today, acyanotic heart disease. And when I say apnea, that means the absence of breathing or the inability to breathe. Okay, so that is apnea. So tachypnea, when you see the word tachy, so that is more. So tachypnea and tachycardia means faster breathing rate, faster heart rate. When you see the word brady, brady means less. So bradycardia and bradypnea means less heart rate or less breathing rate. When you see the word dyspnea, dyspnea means difficulty in breathing or the breathlessness. Then there is this apnea, which means the absence of breathing or the inability to initiate breathing. Okay, clear everyone? Clear?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
So these are only the clinical features that you will see: dyspnea, poor growth, okay, abnormal heart sounds when you do auscultation, okay, and heart failure when this is a severe case, and the pinkish discoloration. Okay, so these are the things that you will see. Diagnosis is of course your x-ray, ECG, echo, you can go for this, and the general physical findings also. And treatment I have given you, like there are the names of some drugs such as digoxin, antibiotics you can go for, okay, diuretics. And whenever it is a severe case, you will go for a surgery, maybe to close the hole or to remove the abnormal connection, that is the ductus arteriosus. And after surgery, if you think of physiotherapy management, you can adopt the cardiac rehab that I told you about. Okay, so I think this topic is clear. So any more topic you want me to discuss tomorrow, tell me now. Tell me any topic that you want me to discuss tomorrow. Any doubts you want me to repeat? Any topic? I think this class will end now, okay? Because the time has ended, I mean the 45 minutes limit. But CR, you send me the attendance. What you can do is you let me know in the group today, okay? Any doubts, then I'll discuss it tomorrow. Okay? Clear, everyone? Okay, find out any topic. So if you want me to discuss like cyanotic diseases also, then also we can discuss that, because today we discuss about acyanotic. So if you want me to discuss about cyanotic diseases, we will do that. And if not, if any other topic you want me to discuss, we will do that. Okay, but just let me know in the group. So it is 11:10. Let me know before 1. Okay, everyone. Okay, so we'll wind up the class now.